Hey, what's up? Been a while. I've been doing things. You hear me? Let's talk about these property taxes, more particularly property taxes in Texas. Now, I know you hear what's been going around where the governor of Texas is talking about they're going to try to eliminate taxes on property. And that's a great thing. Now, who wouldn't want their taxes reduced or taken away off of the homes that they own? Problem is, when you talk that talk, you need to walk the walk. It is no different than what any other politician that says to you. You know, like somebody said they was going to build a border wall from the entire Mexico borderline, which is totally crazy, and it is not done. Some people actually believe that there is a wall that goes all the way from the Gulf of America all the way over to California. It is just not the case. And this is the same thing with this empty promises that they try to. Some of it is just plain stupid when you look at it. Now he's saying that he's going to take the taxes away, but he hasn't came up with a replacement. How are we going to fund our Texas schools? That's always been an issue with Texas. There's been a big problem with Texas. As a matter of fact, the lottery that you guys be playing, the lottery actually is funding a lot of the schools in Texas. I remember when they did the battle over it, and when they specifically said, "Hey, let's add the lottery." That's what it was. It was to take the proceeds from the winnings and all this other stuff, take the proceeds from the lottery, and pay it out to the school system, which it is. The money that's spent on the lottery, 67% is given back to the lottery as winnings, but the other 33% is used to fund Texas school. Now it funds a lot of other stuff, but the majority of it, I think, majority of the money that is taken in as profit, the majority of that is funding the schools. And we're talking about a lot of money here. So how is Texas going to make up that difference? Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that they're talking about is doing a flat tax rate. And this is where it gets tricky for you. See, these politicians, I mean, they know what's going on with the people in their mindset, their thinking skill, the education level, all of that. In a nutshell, they used to cater to intellectuals, but now they're catering to the lesser informed. That's what's happening right now. Now, how are they going to get this money? With a flat tax rate? That'd be crazy. So if they did do that, that means your taxes is going up, not down. Some people who are 65 and above and who have a house that's valued lower than $200,000, for example, they pay zero taxes, right? Veterans, they pay zero taxes. Some people with disabilities pay zero or minimum taxes on their property. So if they take no property taxes away, right, and you already don't pay no taxes, right, and they make it up somewhere else, that means you got increased taxes. Yeah, your taxes don't got increased because now they are making a flat fee on taxes on everything you buy. And right now, any type of food that you buy in the state of Texas, any kind of food, like raw food, like bread, milk, meat, dairy, all this stuff that you buy, there's zero taxes on it. Can you imagine now paying 10, 15% taxes on everything that you buy? This could end up being a tax increase. And the thing about the taxes, they're saying that only homestead property will get this exemption, right? That you don't pay taxes, right? So that means the people who are on property, who are renting, they would still have to pay the tax. And on top of that, they're paying extra taxes on everything anyway. Can you imagine everything? Like if the taxes go up 10%, 15% on everything, gas or whatever, that means people cut your lawn, they're gonna have to charge more for lawn service, right? Because they got to make up the difference between what they're paying for and those taxes they have to pay now. So you can't buy lawn service at this price because gas has gone up. Everything that they do and buy services has gone up. So they're going to have to raise that. So the people who are renting property, they're going to have to raise the rent. Why? Because everything else went up. This is a tax increase, y'all. And what people don't know is one of the ways to get people to pay for something double, triple, or outlandish amount for something is to make it affordable. That's how you do it. Take your house, for example. At today's interest rate, you get a $400,000 house, you're going to end up being paying over $1 million for it. How can they get somebody to agree on something like that? They make it affordable. They make it where you can make the payments a little bit at a time, over time, but you're going to end up paying $1 million for that house. Nobody's going to come out and just give somebody $1 million for a $400,000 house. Come on now. But the way they sneak shit in on you is they make it affordable. And this is no difference with the taxes. Yeah, they're going to make you seem like, oh, you're not paying property taxes, but they're going to nickel and dime you on everything else that you buy. So that is a increase in taxes. So, you know, they've always said things, promises. We've had enough promises, like no taxes on overtime and all that other stuff. Somebody ran on that as a campaign slogan, or it didn't happen. The border wall didn't happen. The repealing Obamacare didn't happen. A lot of stuff don't happen. They just say it. And another thing, you just have to you have to watch these politicians. I'll tell you another thing. Texas just had a bill, a law signed into law, and where they said that we will have no taxes on capital gain, no capital gain taxes in the state of Texas. That's great. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is, Texas don't have a state income tax. We don't even have a state income tax. How in the hell you're not going to have to pay capital gains on something that we don't have anyway? So they went and they put it in there, and we passed a law that there's no capital gain. So what would be the benefit? The benefit is it makes, to the people who are lesser informed, it makes it seem like these politicians are doing something. They're actually working in your favor. They're actually making common sense laws and laws that are going to benefit you. When that's not even a law that we pay taxes at all in the state. Why are we voting on and approving a law that cannot apply to us? Because we don't have a state income tax. So how are we going to pay a capital gains tax on that? So it's just absolutely crazy. They sneak this stuff in on you, and nobody's going to do the research. A lot of the people not going to have a common sense approach, and it is what it is. So yeah, it'd be great not to pay taxes on your property, but I want to know what you're going to replace it with, because my taxes could end up going sky high because they taking this tax away. So yeah, I'm not here to say that I want to continue to pay taxes on it. I want to know what you're going to replace it with, because I already know this robbing Peter to pay Paul situation. I already know how that goes. I already know that people who are in politics, they play with stuff. They play with your minds, and they prey on the lesser informed. So that's what's going on with it. So yes, I would love not to pay taxes on the house. But what I want to know before we sign the dotted line is, where is the shortfall that's going to come, that's going to happen because we're not doing it? Where is that money coming from? So I don't want my taxes to go up, because right now I got a great deal on my property taxes. I'm married to a veteran, get zero property taxes. So now if they switch it to something else, so that means now I'm paying taxes on something else that I wouldn't normally would be paying. So that is a tax increase, not a tax decrease. Y'all pay attention to these politicians, man. A lot of them are pretty much crooks, and they're smart too, because they know who to cater to. And right now, the lesser informed people are coming out in vast numbers to vote, so they have to cater to them. And so they throw out these little tidbits, things that means nothing, to make it seem like they're doing something. And to these people, well, yeah, you got my vote, no property taxes, yeah, but all the while they about to tax the shit out of you on everything else you buy. Gotta watch them.